Hi, my name is Stephen Lyford, and I'm the host of the Migraine International Patient's Perspective, a YouTube channel for those that suffer with migraines. And today's topic, we are talking about weather migraines. And today I have a guest with me. Her name is Mel. She is from Ireland and from across the pond from the United States. And Mel, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, very good. And we're going to be talking about how weather migraines affect migraine sufferers. For myself, I know that ever since I was a child, um, I was like a barometer. I mean, when storms would roll in, I kind of knew they were coming because my head would feel the pressure. I mean, I could feel it here. I could feel it in my temples, my forehead, my eyes. I could sort of tell that those things were, that the weather was changing because I would get a headache, and that's something that you really can't stop it from coming, but um, it was something that has been going on my entire life. How about you, Mel?
Yeah, well, I've only kind of come across it in the kind of the last year. I suffered a stroke in 2019, and ever since then I've kind of been suffering with migraines, and I've from all the studies and things that I've looked into, um, and the triggers that I've kind of looked out for, I've come across the fact that weather changes and pressure has become one of the main triggers for my migraines. So anytime that there's a drop in pressure or a rise in pressure, my head just goes nuts completely.
So, do you use the Migraine Buddy app?
Yes, it was an absolute savior to me when I came across it. Um, I was able to input all the details about when I was getting the headaches or the migraines. I was able to put in the weather details, the where the migraine was located in my head, all the anything to do with the foods or things that might have been a trigger. And then when I actually got to see a neurologist, it took me, God, the best part of 8 months to actually get to see a neurologist. I was able to export all the reports then of all the migraines I was after putting in, print them out and bring them with me to her. And I was lucky that she actually knew what the Migraine Buddy app was. And she was actually able to just look through all the reports that I had brought down. And she was able to diagnose me as a chronic migrainer, and was able to start me on a course of treatments for it. So the Migraine Buddy app has absolutely been brilliant, and I have told anybody that suffers with headaches and migraines all about it, and loads of people have downloaded it and have said that it's really good, that it's helped them so much. Like,
Very good. Did your neurologist give you any specific advice for the weather migraines or how to treat them or anything?
no,
No?
nothing. Um, she just said like that. Unfortunately, when it comes to the weather, she said there's nothing you can do about it. She just said, look, start the course of treatments, the tablets, and kind of see where we go. It's kind of just um, a kind of trial and error period at the moment to see what medications will suit me in that. And I was back down to her in January, sorry, for a checkup, and the tablets that she had me on, the strength, the dosage seemed to have kind of worn off. So she increased the dosage of them for me. She has me on Topamax, is what it's called here. I think it's Topramate is the the drug, the
Topiramate.
chemical.
It has
Yeah,
topiramate, Topamax. Some people call it Dopamax because
Yeah,
It
yeah, I've seen
messes
that.
with your short-term memory.
Yeah, it does, but kind of from the side effects, like I do get the tingling, the pins and needles in the feet and the hands and that. But to be honest, I'm willing to put up with those side effects if it means that it's going to help with the migraines, because like I was literally so bad with the migraines. I was on the sofa, I was in bed. I'm lucky that my two children are of teenage years and that they're able to fend for themselves and get their own food and their own dinner, because I literally was at a point where I couldn't get up and I couldn't cook for them. So if having a bit of pins and needles in my legs or my feet is a side effect of not having a migraine, I'm willing to just cope and live with that for the moment. Like, it doesn't bother me. She did also give me Zomig tablets to take when I felt a migraine coming on, so to help stave that off. Now, I did take two of them, and to be honest, they frightened the living God out of me, because I felt awful with them. I felt like I was, after being in the pub for 10 hours drinking pints all night, I was just felt so drunk. That's the only way that I can describe it. I was wobbling on my feet. I was blurred vision. I was slurring my speech. I said,
What
no.
what medication was this?
It was Zomig, it was called.
Okay.
Um, it was um, it was a tablet, another one that she gave me to take when I felt a migraine coming on. That if I take it straight away, it kind of stops the migraine in its tracks from actually coming on. And I took it twice, and the side effects were just, they were actually worse. They frightened me. So I never took them after that. So she gave me Fromex then to take instead, and they had the opposite effect on me. They did absolutely nothing for me. So,
Well,
so they all,
you have to understand that neurology is not an exact science. All of our bodies are different and they
yeah,
react different to different
yeah,
drugs.
yeah.
And you know,
But
when
like
we
I said,
talk
it's all
about
just
when we
trial
talk
and error at
about
the moment.
um, weather migraines, which is our subject
Mm.
today, um, people have difficulty treating those because those are a different animal. Because they're not the typical migraine that is inside of our heads. This is a stimulus that, you know, affects the pressure inside of our head
Yeah.
because of the outside pressure.
Question.
And, some people have talked about using cold medicines or antihistamines and those kinds of things to try to equalize. And most of us can't take those because they affect your blood pressure. So I, for
Oh,
example, I'm a heart patient, I'm a diabetic, and all of those things, and I can't take those medicines anyway. I mean,
oh,
I can use like
yeah,
a Vicks. You know what Vicks is, right?
yeah,
Vicks is
yeah.
to
We
open
have
your
it here.
nasal
Vapor
cavities.
rub.
Yeah, well, they also have those little tubes that you stick in your nose to open your
Yeah,
nasal cavities. I can use
yeah.
those, but I can't go beyond that.
You
Um,
can take the cough syrup.
right. Yeah, because it's just not good for me.
Yeah.
Um, I
And
mean,
do they actually work?
huh? Yeah. But you can drink hot tea, anything to try to keep your breathing and your nasal cavities open.
Mm.
It helps some, but
Yeah.
like when you're sleeping and stuff like that, it's like there's really not a whole lot other than an ice pack and maybe some
Yeah.
Vicks or whatever, but there's not a lot of relief for weather migraines
Weather
other than just,
migraines.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that even if you're taking, see, I'm on Emgality,
Yes,
Emgality is the monthly
the
injectable,
injection.
and
Yeah.
it actually has been working fairly well for me. But the weather, when you have large variance of barometric pressures, um, there's not a whole lot that Emgality does for those. Um,
Right.
because basically what a migraine is um, your our brains as migraine sufferers are the nerves in our brains are hypersensitive to all kinds of stimuli. You
Mm.
know, whether it's food sensitive, light sensitive, sound sensitive, or weather sensitive.
Yeah.
We can avoid all that other stuff. We can eat the right foods. We can stay away
Wear
from red dye.
sunglasses.
We can stay away from high sugars. We can stay away from all that other stuff once we figure out what they are. You can't stay
Yeah.
away from the weather unless you move to Hawaii. And who can afford who
I
can
heard one
afford to live?
doctor saying that, all right.
Yeah, who can afford to live in Hawaii? Um, but but that's about it. You know. Um, do you have anything else for me?
Um, not that I can think of. Like it's just it's frustrating more than anything else that there's nothing that we can do for the weather migraines. Like we're kind of busting ourselves to try and do everything else with regards to all the other triggers, like you were saying, with staying away from foods and that. And the one thing that we can control is the weather, and their sore migraines. Like it feels like there's somebody blowing a balloon up inside your head, and it's just the pressure that's in there, that there's nowhere for the balloon to go. And it's tough. Like, you know, we just have to kind of put up with it and learn to live with it. It's just one of those illnesses that we have to learn to live with, unfortunately, until
Right.
somebody kind of comes up with something that we can do.
Well, maybe we can get a neurologist on that has some expertise about weather migraines that can help us out. So,
Yeah.
um, so our topic next week is going to be the Migraine Buddy app, and I'm hoping to have a guest to go along with that.
Brilliant.
Um, that'll be next Wednesday at 1 p.m. And I want to thank you for being on with us all the way from Ireland.
No problem
And
at all. My pleasure.
I'm going to have a gift to send to you for coming on with us today. It's one of
Oh,
our Migraine Buddy lunch boxes, or you could use it for your emergency kit. Was
oh,
our topic
lovely.
last week, and
Thank you
it's
very
probably
much.
going to be coming from Simona because she's on your side of the pond.
No
But
problem.
we appreciate you coming on with us to help us out today.
No
So,
problem at all. Thank you so much for having me.
so my name is Stefan Lyford with Migraine International Patients Perspective. Don't forget to share this video, and don't forget to subscribe.